Katy Perry has returned to the industry. She has a brand new spanking single, hot off the press. Returned from what, 2019 pre-COVID, she dropped a record, and she dropped this record, and boy, is it ass. It was dumpster juice. Certified dumpster juice. Certified sleeping hours. Okay, all right. If you haven't clicked off already, I'm playing. To me, in my opinion, it isn't the worst thing I've ever heard. It's not the worst thing. I mean, we are far removed from 2012 Katy Perry, that's for sure. You know, I was hearing the discourse online. I hear some nostalgia revolving around just reminiscing of when Katy Perry was the pop star in 2012 and, 2011 and stuff like that. She has some joints. So she took a 10-year break from the industry. She pursued other creative endeavors, pursued life opportunities, fell in love, stuff like that. Stuff you do as a human. Your work doesn't have to be the center of your life all the time, right? There should be some work-life balance in the music industry. Funny, that's funny. Ain't no work-life balance in the music industry, let's be honest. You take that long of a break, you're going to come back rusty, but I expected that, and I'm trying to figure out, you as Katy Perry fans, what did you expect, from someone that took this long of a break and, also was approaching 40, right? I assume that the subject matter would sound like this, and I assume the sound would sound like this. Like I said, it's not the worst pop song I've ever heard in my life, but with her having the Dr. Luke assisted record and, Dr. Luke having a colored past, with Dr. Luke being the hit maker he is, i.e., Say So, if you're going to be problematic, you really don't have much room for error. Like, you have to churn out bangers. Like, nobody's going to Say So is not a banger. You feel me? So with them collaborating, a lot of people have said it is fallen short of the mark. They've called it an SNL parody. They've said all types of things about this record. I have this article from the Daily Beast. Oh my God. He was violating Alex Karam and Alex. I'll look it up, but Alec, that's got to be a man. Alec, you went crazy. I'm going to read that article right now, and that's going to be the subject matter of this video. But what I would say, you got to pick a struggle with a Dr. Luke assisted record. You have to ensure that the lyrics, if the lyrics aren't strong and it's not resonating with people, then the production can't also be uninspiring. You can't have not a captivating song structure and also not an interesting canvas to lay it on. Like, you have to pick a struggle, Miss Mama. Like, you got to pick a struggle. Like, a lot of people were complaining about the structure of the record, and a lot of people said, this article said it was elevator music. Like, they had a lot of negative things to say about Katy Perry, and at 39 years old, I asked my friend this question: you think this is it for Katy Perry? Do you think she is cooked? Do you think she can bounce back from this? I hear an album is supposed to be due in September. When you hear the reception of this record, she's very much online. I know she hears what people have to say about this record. What do you do if you're Katy Perry? Do you halt the album? I mean, you're on Capitol Records. I assume that this album's going to come out regardless of the reception or not. I think that's a bad idea. I think you should be mindful of the reception and try to pivot and go in a different direction if you can. Shelving and scrapping the whole album may not be a possibility, but at least go with a different single. It didn't react. That's the thing. It's not a bad thing that people didn't react to the song. I know it's like, if Katy Perry is reading the comments and stuff like that, it may be like, it could be disheartening, and it could be something that's dampening her mood or her confidence. I hope I said that word right. But I think this is a great thing. Katy, if you happen to stumble upon this video, this is not a bad thing. I assure maybe your team is telling you this. It's just a field response. How do you know you're going in the right direction if you don't get field response from, social media and from your core audience? You can't recreate the past. You can't be Katy Perry of 2012. What does a 2024 into 2025 Katy Perry sound like? You have to keep in mind. And my friend told me and was like, how does this measure up with the other pop girlies? Did you think you was going to compete with Espresso? And I said, no, it ain't Espresso. It's not. But I'll play some of it right here.
Sexy, confident, so intelligent.
The opening of the record is important, and the subject matter is not dated, but how it is conveyed is a little dated. So I'll go into reading what this article had to say. Jesus Christ. Alex said, unfortunately, it seems to be really over this time. Holy. 5 years after Perry attempted her first big comeback with the beautiful, underrated song that is Never Really Over, she's back with new music that, based on instant thrashing it received on social media, reminds everyone exactly why they stopped listening in the first place. You ain't gotta listen to that, Katy. Katy, you ain't gotta take that. You know what I mean? There's somebody listening to that record. There's somebody that was like, it ain't that bad. Because it's not the worst shit I ever heard in the world. I'm gonna be honest with you. Perry's comeback single, Woman's World, features lyrics and orchestration that are so devastatingly reductive that even if you could ignore the extremely troubling fact she resumed working with producer Dr. Luke, that is true, who has been accused of sexual assault by Kesha, that's also true. The worst offense may just be that the song is plain bad. After all, music fans and the general public have long forgiven questionable figures when they release salacious bop. Take, for example, Doja Cat's Say So, also produced by Luke, as the point that I made earlier in the video. Woman's World is lyrically devoid whilst lacking the infectious production required to salvage the song. There's nothing to grasp onto, whether you love it or hate it. It's just really boring and one note. And despite playing it so safely in the aim for a hit, the song has failed to gain any positive traction while still managing to elicit a firestorm of discourse. From the ill-informed choice to partner with Luke, leading people to question the authenticity of the song's feminist statement, the song was doomed before it even dropped, further cemented by the one-note lyrics. He is completely dunking on her. Like I said, it's not the worst thing I've ever heard in the world. If this album is slated to release in September, you've got time. Do you want to hinge on the nostalgia factor? You know, people on TikTok, they're probably speaking ill of this record and also begging Katy Perry to return to form. You know, somehow you can probably meet them in the middle, Miss Perry. Somehow you can do something that would fit in that box. But if you don't want to do that, you don't feel the need to go backwards, we don't have to. We don't have to keep artists to the same standard that we kept them at years prior. People grow and they evolve and they want to do different things. But also, that's wonderful and dandy and beautiful. But this is also the music business, and you have to be mindful of the times and where your music fits. There has to be a space. If Billboard Top 40 is your goal, which to me, it's not necessarily a marker of success. I mean, I say that it is the what we look at as fans, and everybody thinks they're critics. Every fan thinks they know what's going on in people's operation when we don't. But I know top 40s and metrics and first week sales and all these different things mean a lot to the label. That doesn't necessarily guarantee success or a subject of fulfillment for the artist. Whoever this project is for, you should lead with your best foot forward and do it with the best capabilities you can. If you're reading this feedback and you feel you asking yourself, did I put out something that moved somebody emotionally, and you feel like you did that, continue on. But if you feel like you did not, there's other singles that you can go with it, I'm sure, that can elicit a positive response. If people are dunking on you, they're not going to consume your music, but they may consume the hate listen. But how far does that take you? Do you really want to have people hate listen, especially if it's along the theme of a female empowerment record? You know, do I think this is bum juice? Do I think this is dookie juice? Do I think this should go in the recycle bin? Do I think you should burn your hard drive? No, I don't, Katy Perry. I don't think you should burn that hard drive. I do not think you should burn that hard drive. Put the music out. Put the doggone music out. But understand that the people are saying is uninspiring. They may have a point, but they also may not know what they're talking about. That's also possible. So do with that what you will. Let me know in the comment box what you think of the record. And with this, oh my God, I'll link the article down below. You ain't had to do that. You did not have to do that, sir. I'm going to get up out of here. Steve Levine, as always. Hope you have a wonderful day. Katy Perry, hold your head. All right, Katy Perry, put out the woman empowerment record. Stand on business. If you feel this record is like that, stand on business, Katy.